Bensouda. My entitlements is honorable and doctor. Those are not parts of my name, but they are my achievements. I want to say that I'm honorable, not in the 13th Parliament alone, but I was Honorable Bensouda in the county government of Kisumu as the Minister for Roads, Transport and Public Works. I want to say that this day I'm the Honorable Joyce Atieno Sogo Bensouda as the County MP, Homabay County. I have taken over from Honorable Gladys Wanga, who was the woman rep and now is the sitting elected governor, Homabay County. Allow me in my introduction to say that I'm born and bred in Homabay County, and so I'm representing a county which I understand. I'm born there, I'm married there, I've stayed there, and I understand their challenges, I understand their achievements, I understand their gaps. I want to take this opportunity to thank my God who has given us this life, and this far we have come, we cannot take it for granted. Madam Speaker, I want to say that we serve a God who turns impossibilities to possibilities. And therefore, even as we stand in this house, I believe each and every one of us is going to attest for the fact and the position that he or she was elected. Madam Speaker, allow me to say that I am a married Christian professional woman leader who is going to work and serve diligently for this nation. Madam Speaker, it is my honor this day to appreciate, acknowledge Homabay County, who elected me to be in this 13th Parliament. That I do not take it for granted. I cherish them, and with a lot of passion and humility, I am going to serve them, and because they took their time to vote me in, I appreciate them and I salute them this day. Madam Speaker, I would not forget to thank my party leader, who is none other than His Excellency Right Honorable, the former Prime Minister, Raila Amolo Odinga, because through his footsteps, I'm in this parliament through the party of ODM, which I respect. Madam Speaker, allow me to say that politics is behind us, and now it is service delivery. As we are in this parliament, Madam Speaker, I want to say that we are engaged as the arm of the government, that is legislation. Without looking into the political divides, we must be able to serve Kenyans diligently. Madam Speaker, I want to confirm that the motion in place is very relevant for Honorable Bensouda. Why am I saying so, Madam Speaker? I want to say that I'm a career educator, and I want to say that I'm one of the professional teachers who has the credit and distinction of teaching in all cadres of level of education. I want to confirm to this House that I am a primary school teacher. So when any issue comes and arises, Madam Speaker, dealing with policies, I understand them from the perspective of practicality and not just a politician. Madam Speaker, I want to say that I am a high school teacher. I'm trained and graduated, professionally qualified from the world-class university, that is the Nairobi University. Madam Speaker, I want to say and record in this House that I'm also a lecturer, professionally trained and qualified. I owe my master's degree at the University of Nairobi. I owe my doctorate in philosophy in project planning and management. Madam Speaker, I find that absolutely relevant for me to serve in this House as an MP. Madam Speaker, I want to say that not only am I owning doctorate in philosophy in project planning and management, I am specialized in project monitoring and evaluation. All this equates to devolution. All this equates to what we need to serve in our constituencies or our counties. Madam Speaker, having said that, I want to really appreciate the seniors in this House, because we learn from footsteps. When you enter into somebody's house, you observe, you watch, you listen. I have listened, I have observed, I've taken my time to see how members debate. I have taken my time to learn on the conduct and presentation. Madam Speaker, that gives me an edge to start my footing in this House. Madam Speaker, I want to recognize with a lot of humility the late Wangari Maathai as a woman leader in this country. I'm recognizing the late Wangari Maathai because his life is anchored in one of my key issues or items in my manifesto. That is environmental conservation, which I will elaborate a little bit, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to say that from my observation as a key stakeholder in this country and a leader, I want to give my opinion on the institutions that exist in this country. I want to say that as leaders who are given the time to serve in each and every institution, be it the executive, be it the judiciary, be it the legislature, we must be transparent, honest, and accountable to the work that we are doing. I want to say, Madam Speaker, that we do not have time. Kenyans are watching over us. Madam Speaker, Kenyans do not want stories. Madam Speaker, Kenyans do not want sideshows. This House, I believe, in the 13th Parliament, the fourth estate is asking, what is it that we are going to do different from what has been done in other years? Madam Speaker, I want to say that without looking and observing into our political divides, we must serve Kenyans. There are issues. As an educator, number one, I would want to see the courts upholding the spirit of education. Otherwise, we cannot be discussing education issues, formulating education policies, and then at certain points, we give doublespeak. Madam Speaker, I want to say that as a Christian, I want the churches, it is my proposal, it is my quest that the churches should also be looked into in this country. And I'm very happy that our president is one of the spiritual persons that we have in this country. And I always see prayers ongoing in State House. We want to see this cascaded to Protestants, the Anglicans, each and every denomination. Even in our language, we have one, Nomea, if you allow me to say. Madam Speaker, I want to say that when it comes to gatherings, public holidays, we must cushion, we must be equitable even with our prayers, not only one side. Let us have all these denominational and religious leaders brought on board. If anything, the churches need to develop and grow. Why don't we also think about that? I think I'll bring one of the motions to Qatar for that. Madam Speaker, I want to talk as a woman leader in this nation. Where I come from, Homabay County, I want to say that there are many challenges which cuts across, and we cannot overlook other regions at the expense of this region. In Homabay County, where I come from currently, we have 9 sub-counties. These 9 sub-counties, they have the potentials that can be tapped by utilization of the resources which are available. Some natural, some can be initiated through innovativeness. Madam Speaker, I want to say that there is need for the government. There is need for this House. There are some motions which doesn't need a lot of time for debate about it. They require action. I am very happy and encouraged that our key leaders of this country had in the past acknowledged that there are some gaps in our constitution. Madam Speaker, I would want to concur with that. And if we have acknowledged that there are some gaps, it is our duty and responsibility to restore the gaps. I want to believe that laws were not made for us, neither man was made for that, but we are supposed to come out and ensure that the gap which is existing is filled. No wonder we are elected to represent our electorates. Madam Speaker, I want to say that in the county where I come from, there is serious youth unemployment. This is a song that has been sung for the last years. For how long are we going to talk about youth employment without creating the resources of mitigating by levels of percentages? Madam Speaker, we have the big fish, the lake region in that place. We want to have the other side of Mombasa for tourists so that we can have Mombasa region also come to Homabay County. Madam Speaker, when we are talking about on the motion, the national government and CDF funds, I've heard and listened keenly in this House, Madam Speaker. There is no doubt, there is no choice. If anything, all these funds under the 5 segments, economic stimuli, and including the senators that they need there's some money for oversight. As a project planner, there is no oversight which can be done with mere observation. A project oversight, if you want it to be informative, Madam Speaker, it must be planned for. And I want to say
Well, your time is up. Very well spoken, member for Homabay. You have 2 minutes.
With a lot of humility.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. Now, I will cut my maiden speech short and come directly to the motion, and that is NGAF. I believe the Constitution says that women representatives, we are supposed to be representing the youths, the women, and PWDs. As we are doing this amendment, one, the NGAF must be anchored in the Constitution. It is not favor. Standing on my feet as you observe me, Madam Speaker, I'm not just worth being given just some money. I am worth representing with a lot of practicality. Madam Speaker, we resigned to come and serve the people of this nation. We did not resign to come and be given mere resources, yet we have taxpayers' money that can equally be equitably distributed so that service delivery can be felt. For instance, as Women Rep, my people expect to see markets, which I promised them during my campaigns. A woman with a storage facility, Madam Speaker, a woman with a sitting chair, a woman with aprons, a woman who can sell his products requires resources. It is not just mere resources. And therefore, because we have a lot of constituencies that we are representing, I want to speak strongly that the NGAF must be restructured. I want it to go on record. I want to say that when CDF is being given 2.5%, NGAF must also increase, because the women are the basket of the family and of the society. And we are standing firm that the committees who will be dealing with these issues must remember to make amendments that are informative and that can be anchored in the Constitution. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do not want to be a disobedient pupil, but next time we must cherish men and women in this house. Honorable Waheshimiwa, when CDF, we know what they're doing down there. When you are advocating for CDF, the women